Alright boys, so you want to climb with Viktor in Season 16, this is exactly what you do. We're going to be playing Viktor versus Akali, and step 1 of playing Viktor is getting control of the lane. You need to win lane on this champ. We're one of the strongest laners in the game. So we're going to be opting in for Ahri into Resolve. Why? Ahri is going to give us access to more trading power, and Scorch as well. More trading power, and Resolve is going to help us deny the enemy's trading, especially from Akali. Now, Viktor has 2 build paths that he can go. He can go Blackfire Torch, or he can go Rod of Ages. Since the enemies have an insane amount of assassins on the top side of the map, I am going to be opting in for Rod of Ages to make sure I don't get one-shot by these champions. If I want to deal a little bit more damage, or the enemies are a little bit tankier, I got less kill threat, Blackfire Torch is usually the better item. Now, in the lane, the goal is to take small win-oriented trades, which means that we want to chip away at this Akali's HP bar, while not getting hit in return. So we're going to try to harass her a little bit on the times that she's going to go for last hits. And we're going to make it hard for her to CS. The goal is to try to get a nice lead in the lane. And we can get a nice little proc there. We can extra out attack. Yes, she procs my bone plating, but this was fine. It looks like she runs the ring. Some Akalis tend to run the shield. If they run the shield, you want to trade a little bit differently. If they don't run the ring, you can just play and chunk them whenever you can. We're not going to give her this one for free, which she does contest. And I'm doing a really good job winning the trades right now. Space out that Akali Q. And she's in a little bit of trouble given the wave state. We're doing a very nice job chunking her here. Chunking her some more. And she's dead. There's no way out. Great stuff. You see? Power of good quality trading. We're going to keep this wave state in this location so that she is going to lose a lot of minions. Alright, Akali. Nice try, brother. Beautiful stuff. We're going to put an extra point in E. And I'm going to try to reset on like wave 5. Since you're running a combat summoner on Viktor, you want to pick your resets ideally before the enemy laner. Now, since this early lane went so incredibly well that I will not be able to reset before the enemy laner purely because of the fact that I'm so far ahead, I'm now going to be able to just reset on a wave set that I like. Now, she might be able to take this. That's fine. We're going to use our Q to deny a little bit of the damage. And we're going to look to keep trading onto her here. Gotta make sure to not get landed on by that E. I'm gonna bait it out here. She's gonna try to E me probably. Yep, there we go. And this is a point where Kha'Zix may eventually look to gank, so we gotta be quite careful for the wave state. I'm gonna pop a little bit of a ward. Good E onto the last hits. If you want to have guaranteed E's like that, guys, you always want to trade onto the last hits and make it very hard for the enemies to then trade back at you. I'm going to act as if I'm going to move first, but truly I just kind of want to reset onto this wave state. You see how I have a high value E there? And since she stays, I can just keep hitting her like that. And it's okay for me to not reset. Purely because she's just dropping so incredibly low and I'm winning the trades. If I wouldn't be winning the trades, I would take a lot less greedy base. We're going to drag the minions back. That's one of the powerful things you can do as Viktor, is you can use your Q to draw aggro and drag minions into a more favorable position. Oh, that's such a bad E. We always need to land that E. That's such a terrible E. Yikes. That's fine. And the reason why it's so bad to miss that E is because then I don't get my Doran's regen, right? Alright, we're going to need to find a good reset opportunity. We're kind of chilling in the lane for a little bit too long now. We're getting too rich. Maybe I should have taken the previous reset. So what we're going to do is we're preserving a little bit of mana so we can eventually find a reset opportunity on a future wave state. We get a nice high value E there. Dodge out on our spells. We really got to get a reset going. I think she also wants to reset. Ping my top laner. Oh, awkward state here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my R to get the reset going. This is a cannon, so it's impossible for me to push it otherwise. So we're just going to use ult. And we missed the cannon, unfortunately. That's fine. We at least prevent her from all-inning me. And we get an okay reset. So I should have reset on that previous wave. That's totally fine. We're still in a position where we're just nicely in control. So we're going to get T1 boots, which I love to get. It's a very, very, very strong buy. And we're going to opt in for Roa this game, purely because of the fact that the item is so incredibly good versus the enemy team comp. Now, it looks like Akali didn't reset. And my bot lane is winning. Okay, this is very important. I want to play towards my strong side of the map. Top lane is also doing fine. So in this case, Hecarim is going to be where the strong side is. Now, I'm going to look to hold this minion wave because Akali was kind of slow on the reset. I'm going to try to cancel her base. She might be there. Looks like she wasn't there. And by holding this wave and getting a vision ward out, we now are in a position where she's going to lose more minions than me. Now, if Kha'Zix commits to the reset... Okay, I need to hard push this, because if I don't hard push this, we might be in a spot where we lose Drake. So I'm heavily leaning towards bot side, keeping my eyes on this Hecarim. If something happens, I need to move. I still want to deny her as many minions as possible, so I'm not nuking all of the caster minions initially, because those caster minions deal the most amount of damage to the wave, right? And now we're going to look to poke the Akali slowly out while we get control of the lane. She can't really all-in me with bone plating up and with a ruby crystal. I need to land those E's. I'm going to need to time these with last hits, guys. Time your E's with last hits so you can't miss them. This is a trading pattern that Akali can do. E backwards. I'm too fucking sloppy with the E's. I gotta stop skill checking, dude. Okay, and we put an extra point in the E here. I could also put an extra point in Q. If you feel like you need the more trading power versus melees, you put a point in Q. But if you put a point in E, you have a little bit more wave clear. I'm going to ward up into top side. Nice high value E there. Great stuff. We drag the minions a little bit back here. We still got to be careful of Akali potentially all-inning us. And what we want to do, starting from this point as Viktor, is we want to be in a spot where we play around neutral objectives. So this was actually kind of good. We get out the Akali ult for free. And this is going to allow us to play the Void Grips. I'm going to need to reset here. Let's hope these minions don't cancel me. Very nice. Well, it should be fine. I'm going to wait for my blasting one, and we can play the Grubbies. Viktor is a champion that the moment you get to your E upgrade, you really want to play for lane control. And then you want to start putting that lane control into different parts of the map. Mainly using your warding and your leaning. You want to then lean towards the side of your jungle. You want to be first at place. As a control mage, you need to be first at place. Because that way, when the enemies are running through choke points, you can trade their HP for the space that they need to retake. I shouldn't have went for that minion. It took a little bit too much damage there. It's fine. She's got no R, so her kill threat's kind of low. I can deny her some minions. Not sure what's going on there. How did they get into that spot? Yeah, I don't really know how they got in that spot, because we're on the grubbies, right? I guess I should have watched them moving, but I didn't really want to play there anyway. I don't think it was ever winning. Very nice. We got out her W and her E. We're in a great position. And we're doing a pretty good job right now. Top is winning, jungle's winning. We're just going to keep our eyes on the jungle and play with him. I'm going to hard push the wave because I don't know where the Akali is. And she might be using her ult on top lane here. If she does, that's going to be pretty annoying for the Rumble. So I'm just going to look to push mid and potentially get the plate. Just hit once. I don't want to get flanked and die. I want to time my next reset on the Roa. And we ask ourselves the question what the next neutral objective is, which is going to be the dragon, which I want to play for. Now, Akali has Hextech Gunblade. She got a double kill. Well, that stinks. And there's definitely an opportunity where she 100 to 0s me. right now. Because I don't have my Roa just yet. So she's quite strong. And because of that reason, I'm actually going to hold this wave state here. And prevent it from crashing fully. This is great. What I can do right now is I can hard push this next wave into a potential reset. I'm not basing. Akali's moving bolt. Very nice. So this was generally quite good wave management here. Allowing me to get a perfect reset on the Roa. Very nice. So we're in a really good position right now. Akali has first move. Well, I hope Hecarim doesn't die here. He's probably dead. That's on him. Okay, so the game is going to be turning a little bit more challenging. We love a challenge, don't we? Great. We're going to probably opt into full mute real soon. Top is still winning, so we can always play with him. I'm going to look to hard push this wave and get a plate. On the time that Akali's basing. Akali used her ignite. Oh, she's not basing. She used her ignite and her ult, so she can't really do much anymore, right? And that's why it's totally fine for me to keep pressuring. I'm going to hit the plate, get the plate, and move into bot side. I gotta be a little bit careful. There's a lot of pings that I'm gonna mute real soon. That was some great fighting. We have Q upgrade right now, which is a really big spike. That Rakan got sent into oblivion there. Good trading here. And Q upgrade is fantastic, right? It's going to allow us to be a whole lot more cocky with the way that we go about these positions. Okay. I really want to get a reset off. And I'm going to get this wave out, even though it's a cannon wave, right? I'm just going to push it out. Oh. Really cannon. Just gonna take a reset. And we're gonna be back real fast. I really want to get my Dark Seal because Dark Seal is an insane item for me to get. Dark Seal is so good because it's really syncing up well with my HP that I get from my Roa. I pinged Rumble, but it was a bit late. I think it would have been in trouble regardless. I was yapping too much. Okay, great. Now, even though the Rumble might die to the Akali and give a shutdown, which stinks, I'm going to be able to get a fucking plate here. Which is nice. I might be able to make a play into bot side. Oh, they're full HP. It's going to be pretty hard to make a play. But now I'm still just going to try. I've got no business, right? I can't really break through her. I don't know if she used ult or not. I'm going to move into bot. Okay, not bad. That was pretty well played. I'm gonna move over here. I think it's winning here. The team is not too happy with each other. I was Oh, that's too fucking funny. Okay, so we're going to look to push the waves, and eventually we're going to need to swap up the lane assignments. So we're going to do nicely this. Beautiful. And we're going to send the Tristana to mid. And we're going to just nicely take the reset. So, since bot lane wave state's all the way pushed out, we can now use this tempo to create an opportunity to fight around Rift without the enemies being able to respond. Triss has got a pretty new red buff, so I'm free to take this one. Oh shit. Yeah, I shouldn't face check that. My bad, I should have eat... Okay, so a small problem here was that I didn't wait for my Hecarim to get in place. I think walking in there eventually is good, but I rushed it. I was too early. And I was too greedy there. That's on me. Now, that's fine. In the mid game, what you want to do as Viktor is you want to ask yourself the question what the next neutral objective is and play for it, okay? You need to be first around the neutral objective. That's what our champion likes to do. So in this case, since we already have 2 dragons, right? Dragon's going to be a little bit more valuable than the Rift. If we can play Rift into Drake, that's absolutely stellar. That's amazing. But generally speaking, I want to play on Drake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up True Bot. And I'm going to start getting some control around bot side. I don't have to open a mid because we already get mid prio. I'm going to fix this bot lane wave state, which is bugging me. It's a really bad wave state. Top lane wave state is also really bad. And that's the downside of taking the turret. Your minions become a little bit stronger. So we're going to fix this bot lane wave state. I love this ward here. This ward gives you so much pressure. And we're going to push as deep as possible. A general rule in the side lane is that if you can, push as deep as possible. And we got a nice amount of money here on the plates. Absolutely fantastic. Beautiful. 3 plates. It's a lot of money in my pocket. And do we beat Yone in the 1v1? We do beat him in the 1v1 if he cannot get on top of me. If he's on top of me, I insta-lose. So we chunk him like that, and then we run away. Chunk him too. Wasting a bit of time. And we can now play Drake, because we're full info on the Kha'Zix as well. Go back to bot. Hecarim is feeling it on mid lane. Gotta make sure we use that E to face check there. That's good. I'm just gonna wait until we can play Drake. Looks like the enemies are in position. I can't play this bot lane wave, unfortunately. Maybe I can. It's a bit tricky with this bush being unwarded. Okay, so the enemies have given up the objective. That means that I instantly go back into bot. Instantly push out the wave. If a fight happens, you want to be there as early as possible as Viktor, because you can then trade their HP for them taking space and moving into you. That's like the idea. It's so much easier to deal damage when they're running towards you as Viktor. First of all, it's easier to land your spells. And secondly, you're then in a position where you can maybe AoE them in choke points. Now, Rumble's making a great play. He's not really responding to top. We're just overloading bot here. The goal in the mid game, once again, it's neutral objectives, but another key thing that mid game rolls around is forcing people to respond to your side lane waves. That's exactly what we're doing here. So, we're now going to take the reset, and I'm going to open up into top side, because the next neutral objective is going to be the Baron. So I'm going to grab this, because I just used my ward like an idiot in this bush. And my team is currently playing, you know, not the best time to play. We're a little bit off tempo, because both me and Hecarim aren't ready to play, right? We've got a lot of money. But as you can see, it's a pretty big ego game here in Master Tier. A lot of people are just fighting for the sake of fighting and to show that they possess a bigger one. And they just fucking die for it, you know? It's just classic. Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not macro, it's just bigger ego. It's not smart. Could have maybe done a bit of... I pinged them off, but I could have maybe done a bit of a better job. It's whatever, it's just stupid to fight. We just want to play around the Baron. I don't care if they die as well. Not my problem. I'm just gonna ping Nash. I'm just gonna get top. Give me those 3 plates. Kali shows mid, which is the main threat for me. Okay, I made Yone respond. We got the wave out quite deep. I can take a reset right now because I'm getting quite rich. Normally I'd like to push the next wave, but since I'm quite rich and the Baron spawns in 17 seconds, I want to be as strong as possible. Ideally, we try to set up the area with vision, and then we're in a spot where we can just take the Baron. I got my Roa almost completed. Yone does not push out the next wave. He shows the mid. Okay, very interesting. So their threats are currently on mid lane, which is going to allow it to be quite easy for me to push this next top lane wave out. Without being under any type of threat, because they can't kill me. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here on bot side. It makes no sense. The level of macro is quite low. Into the FF, it's just emotional. And since I can't really pressure up further, I'm gonna just take these. She jumped in. No way, she jumped in, dude. That is some fucking big balls gameplay. Oh, I misclicked. I wanted to click my E there, but it's fine. They might be able to do Baron now. I'm gonna go swap to blue. Can I do Baron? They probably can. Nah, they're not on it. Otherwise, they would already be doing it. We're gonna play Drake now. Since my team is like permanently fighting, we're gonna stop side laning a little bit. I think he's dead. Can't move that, it's too deep. Hecarim's dead. If I move in there, I'll probably die. I need to preserve my HP and reset. I might get collapsed from that Akali. Should be a kill. Oh, that hit me? I thought I dodged it. I'm gonna pop Ghost here with Q to get the move speed. Slow him. Fortunately, can't kill him. He still had flash. He dies. That's really good. And we get Drake now. We get the soul. So really good deployment. I adapted a bit to the chaos of my team. Even though that wasn't perfect macro, it's the best we got. Now, after this, I want to push out as deep as possible. And then we're going to play Nash. So eventually, I'm going to go into top. But like I said, I want to push as deep as possible. Because the deeper I can push, the more tempo I generate. I'm going to do top now. I'm going to buy the Magi's. I don't have sums. Since my Rumble's already on top, I'm just going to deploy through mid. Since we don't want to play two people on the side here. And let's see if we can set up the Baron like some decent macro now. Take this mid wave. We missed another cannon. I don't know if I've missed like 3 or 4 cannons this game already. Very nice. Getting Pry on the mid wave, just hovering here. Can't do anything. Like perma farming. We need deeper vision. We need Yuumi to walk. Oh, he's resetting too. Now we're just wasting our time then, aren't we? I'm going to be able to get mid prio here. And then we're going to be able to take that vision. We're just playing for vision right now. We need deeper vision. Yep. We got Yone R. That's the power of vision. Can we get deeper vision, please? We have no... We need Yuumi to reset. She's got no wards. The macro. The level of macro. Come on, boys. I'm just taking mid waves. These are not my waves, by the way. These are Tristar waves. But I'm just taking them because she's not taking them. She's taking detours all the time. Yone has no R. He's not threatening by any means. Now I can move into top. And push out this wave. Because of the fact that my Rumble is not here. Seems like we started the Baron. Let's back around. I don't want to lose my HP. We're a bit later to the fight, but it should be fine. I'm going to be able to deal a lot of damage here. Yep. She's not in there. Probably can't do Baron. Because of the fact that Akram's dead. That's okay. Beautiful push into a nice little reset. We have our Robodons right now, which is going to make us like really strong, right? And the Mage Ice is insane on us because of the fact that we're basically unkillable with Roa Cosmic Drive. We're so tanky. I still got my Flash too. This Rakan's doing a really good job warding. Wow. I don't know if they win this. Yeah, we should win this. I went a bit deep in the bush to face check, but I just wanted to fucking initiate the fight there. Akali used R, so she doesn't have a lot of kill threat anymore. Our vision setup and our macro this game has been suboptimal. We gotta play Elder afterwards. It's because our support can't really walk in alone, and that makes it pretty challenging. I'm gonna take a reset, get my HP back, then we're gonna redeploy mid and play on the Drake. We go for Zonias next, and then we're actually unkillable. And it's worth selling my Dorans, of course, for a needlessly. Hey, what's up, bitch? I'll make sure there's no Kha'Zix running in, which he isn't. Hey, is this guy dead? He might be dead. A lot of people forget the power of race car Viktor. Don't want to run into a Kha'Zix randomly. I think we can just ARAM and win. We have Baron. And Elder. Okay, so pretty decent game. We made a few small slip-ups here and there. I was, of course, talking a lot, but honestly, we talked about how Viktor wants to win the game in general. I think we did a pretty good job in that. GG's! So yeah, to recap, boys, the key to winning Viktor is winning lane, getting control of the lane by taking good quality trades. Then we want to expand our lead through proper warding and leaning, playing around the neutral objectives, and in the mid game, it's all about pushing side deep and being first at neutral objectives so you can take team fights front to back. That is what Viktor wants to do. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed.